Good afternoon, race fans. Welcome to Oxford Plains Speedway. I'm Aaron Johnson with the Johnson iRacing team, bringing you today's feature event, the top split in the iRacing Advanced Legends Cup. This race features the best drivers on the iRacing service at the time this race was offered. Let's have a look at the starting grid. Starting in the 13th spot in car number 12 in the Canoris Legends Car, that's Dawson Simpson. Dawson from Canada. Starting 12th in car number 7. Racing out of the Midwest region, that's Blake Hoppy. Starting in the 11th spot in car number 11, he races with us from Vantaug, Finland. That's the My Little Pony Legends Car of Aleksanteri Hanska. In the 10th spot in car number 8, racing out of Iberia, that's Alejandro Boro in the KBR Legends Car. In the 9th starting spot in car number 13, racing out of Avon, Ohio, that is Dave Bender. In the 8th spot out of Sumter, South Carolina, that's the Gopro Legends Car, car number 10 of Hunter McCoy. Starting 7th in car number 6, the Logitech Legends Car of Sean Deuce from Kingston, Ontario, Canada. Starting 6th in car number 9, that is Brian Free in the Bang Legends Car, Brian from Michigan. Now, your top 5 starters. Starting 5th, racing out of the New England region, that's Bradley Souza. Starting 4th, racing out of Slinger, Wisconsin in the Mount Vernon Auto Napa Auto Supply Car, that's Aaron Cain. He'll show up on your telemetry as Lincoln Cain. Starting 3rd in car number 3, racing out of Abingdon, Virginia in the Go Fast Don't Die Legends Car, car number 3, Austin Hawkins. Starting 2nd in the RC Workshop Legends Car, racing out of Canada, car number 2, that is Brandon Campbell. And on the pole, that's car number 1, Joel Blewett. Joel in the Jones Racing Setups Car, racing out of Brum, England. The pace car has already left the field. We are moments away from getting the green. We're actually going to join this race just as the green flag is thrown. The pace car is in, the green flag is out. Joel Blewett's going to lead the field past the start-finish line. Blewett in car number 1 takes a quick early lead, followed by the 2 of Campbell. It looks like Austin Hawkins in the 3 made his way around Campbell on the start. Now we've got some kind of action back in the back. The 2 of Brandon Campbell. Then it's the 4 of Lincoln Cain running third out front. It is all Joel Blewett. Blewett followed by Hawkins, Cain, Souza, Campbell, and Brian Free. Looks like Bradley Souza has made his way around the 4 of Aaron Cain. Cain dropping back ever so slightly. Let's have a look very quickly through the field. Out front, it is the 1 of Joel Blewett. Blewett jumps out to a quick early lead behind Blewett. That is car number 3 of Austin Hawkins. Hawkins running in the 2nd spot. Behind Hawkins, that's Aaron Cain in car number 4. He sits in the 3rd spot behind Cain in car, that's the Bang car of Brian Free. That number very difficult to read. Free running in the 4th spot. Behind Free, that's the 10 of Hunter McCoy. McCoy in 5th. Then behind McCoy, we've got the 8 of Alejandro Boro, and behind him, the 5 of Bradley Souza. Souza, one of the top drivers on the iRacing service. He must have run into a little trouble somewhere early. Behind Souza, that's the 6 of Sean Deuce. Deuce currently shown in the 8th spot. Then the 7 of Blake Hoppy, and the 11 of Aleksanteri Hanska rounding out the top 10. The 12 of Dawson Simpson looks to the outside. The 8 spun there, nearly an accident, as the 12 of Simpson looks to the outside behind them. That is the 13 of Dave Bender. Bender being shown in the 12th spot, and running there in what looks like the last spot, that's the 99 of Brandon Campbell. Campbell showing up on your telemetry as car number 2. Behind him, that's the 8 of Alejandro Boro. Boro now being shown in the 13th spot, and behind Boro, we're back around to the leader. That's the 1 of Joel Blewett. Blewett leading lap number 8 of 40 as we come out of turn 4 onto the front straightaway. Blewett with the lead. He's got a big advantage, about a 2.5 seconds over the 3 of Austin Hawkins, with the 4 of Aaron Cain running in the 3rd spot. We'll zoom out so we get a better view of the field to give you an idea of just how much this field is stretched out. Joel Blewett setting a blistering pace. He's got almost a 2.5 second lead over Hawkins, with Aaron Cain another 2 seconds back of those cars. It is Blewett out front, working on the lap car. He's just gotten past the lap car of Brian Free. Free now shown 1 lap down. That would make Alejandro Boro the last car on the lead lap. That is the 7 of Blake Hopp, just either going into or coming out of the pits. Out front, it is all Joel Blewett. Blewett setting a blistering pace. He has just put the 9 car of Brian Free a lap down. Free on newer tires after having been in an accident earlier. Joel Blewett really driving that 1 car hard as he comes out of turn number 4. 12 laps down in a 40-lap feature event. It's Joel Blewett out front, followed by Hawkins, Cain, McCoy, and Bradley Souza. Souza having worked his way back up into the 5th spot. Behind them, the 2 of Brandon Campbell runs in 6th, with Alexanteri Hanska 7th, Bender 8th, Alejandro Boro in 9th, and then Brian Free 1 lap down, showing in the 10th spot. Free content right now to run behind the 1 of Joel Blewett. Blewett setting a blistering pace as he leads on lap number 14. Now lap 15, it is still Joel Blewett with the lead, followed by Hawkins, Cain, McCoy, and Souza. Let's have another look through the field. Behind the 1 of Joel Blewett is the bang car. That's Brian Free. Behind Free, we see the 3 of Austin Hawkins. Hawkins running in 2nd. That lead between, that gap between Blewett and Hawkins is stabilized at about 1.5 seconds. Hawkins may be gaining just slightly. Behind Hawkins, that's the 12, a lap down, Dawson Simpson running in the 11th spot. Then behind him, it's the 4 car of Aaron Cain. Cain shown in 3rd spot. Also the lead stabilizing. Cain really holding his own now with Joel Blewett. Behind Cain is the 10 of Hunter McCoy. McCoy about 6 seconds behind. Is it 6 seconds? Maybe a little less than that behind Cain. And just behind McCoy, that's the 5 of Bradley Souza. Souza trying to work his way into the top 4 after having problems early. The 10 just pulls out of the way and lets Bradley Souza go. Souza will now move in to the 4th spot. Behind them, we see the 2 of Brandon Campbell, that RC, or remote control car, damaged but repaired, at least well enough to race, missing the left front fender. It's the 99C on your telemetry. He shows up as 2. Behind him, the next car in line, I don't know who the next car in line is. That's the 7 of Blake Hoppy, shown at 4 laps down. We're at the halfway point. Back around to the leader, Joel Blewett with the lead. Blewett has put Alexanteri Hanska in the My Little Pony car lap down. Joel Blewett with the lead. Out front, followed by Hawkins and Lincoln Cain. Behind them, Hunter McCoy and Bradley Souza round out the top 5. McCoy has made his way back past the 10. Has made his way back past the 5 of Bradley Souza. You see Blewett closing on that 7 of Blake Hoppy, getting ready to put Hoppy a 5th lap down. Blake Hoppy gives the leader Joel Blewett plenty of space, and Blewett's going to take and make the pass coming out of turn 4. There are 18 laps to go, now 17 to go. Joel Blewett with the lead, followed by Hawkins, Cain, Souza, McCoy, Campbell. Those 6 the only cars on the lead lap, as Joel Blewett is really picking them up and putting them down. 16 laps to go. Oxford Plains, a flat 3/8 mile oval. Hard to get good grip out of the corners here. Joel Blewett doing a really nice job managing the throttle, keeping the tires on that race car. I've got the competition line, the driving line, shown so that our viewers that are racing in the iRacing Legends series, they're trying to figure out how some of these drivers get around the track so fast. You can use this video as a primer. You should always, whenever you can, strive to race with that line turned off, but it's a really good way to develop a feel for the racetrack and to identify some marks that you can use when you're in competition. Once you do that, flip that racing line off and go racing without it. But I've got it turned on for you here so that you might be able to use this video. Joel Blewett doing a great job running a smooth, fast, consistent race, and you get a feel for the kind of line that Mr. Blewett runs. as he leads here with 13 to go. Blewett stretching the lead out now, starting to really pull away from the 3 of Austin Hawkins. Let's have a look at just where Hawkins is on the racetrack. Blewett leaving turn number 2 as Hawkins gets into turn 1. Joel Blewett with a big lead behind Austin Hawkins. Then we've got the 4 of Aaron Cain. Cain about a straightaway behind Hawkins. The leaders really stretched out as Bradley Souza has worked his way back past the 10 of Hunter McCoy. Souza running in the 4th spot. Let's have a look at his race car. Souza now coming into turn 3, now out of 3 and into 4. He'll come out of 4 onto the front straightaway this time by. There are 10 laps to go. Bradley Souza running in the 4th spot, just holding off the 10 of Hunter McCoy. He and McCoy putting on quite the show, having traded spaces a couple of spots here, a couple of times trading places late in the race. Behind the 10, it's the 99C, what shows up on your telemetry as car number 2. That's Brandon Campbell coming out of turn 4, into turn 2, now out of turn 4 onto the front straightaway. Campbell, the last car on the lead lap, 9 to go. Joel Blewett with the lead. Blewett coming out of 4 onto the front straightaway. There are 8 to go, now 7 to go. This time by as Blewett will come out of 4 onto the front straightaway. Joel Blewett running a nice race. He's got a big lead over the 3 of Austin Hawkins and the 4 of Aaron Cain behind them. McCoy has made his way past Souza. Brandon Campbell also has made his way past Souza as we see Joel Blewett closing in on the 6th place car of Bradley Souza. Souza currently the last car on the lead lap as Joel Blewett sets a blistering pace. There are 6 laps to go. Joel Blewett with the lead. Blewett closing on the 5 of Souza. We can see here Joel Blewett closing in, no one within a country mile, as Joel Blewett has run away with this race. Austin Hawkins currently nearly 4 seconds back in 3rd. Lincoln Cain 7 seconds back in 4th with Hunter McCoy, or in 3rd with Hunter McCoy in 4th, and Brandon Campbell in 5th as Joel Blewett closes in on the 5 of Bradley Souza. Blewett sets a quick pace, comes off the corner nice and smooth now into turn number 3, out of 3 and into 4 onto the front straightaway. It's going to be Joel Blewett as Souza gets loose again. Bradley Souza goes around. That 5 car really being a rascal. Quite a handful for Bradley Souza. It looked to me like Souza really fighting a loose race car. Loose is fast, but as they say in Days of Thunder, you're on the edge of out of control. And out of control ends up costing Bradley Souza. Souza now a lap down as Joel Blewett closes on lap traffic. Puts the 8 of Alejandro Boro another lap down and closes on the 5th place car of Brandon Campbell. Campbell involved in that earlier accident. You have to wonder if Campbell had not been involved, just what he might have been able to do. Campbell, a quick race car, has stayed on the lead lap despite having all that damage, run a nice race. Has managed to work his way past some cars and move back into the top 5. The white flag, and now the checkers as Joel Blewett takes the win, followed by the 3 of Hawkins, then Aaron Cain in 3rd, Hunter McCoy 4th, Brandon Campbell in 5th, with Brad Souza 6th, Brian Free 7th, Alexanteri Hanska running 8th, Dawson Simpson 9th, and Alejandro Boro rounding out the top 10. That'll do it from Oxford Plains in this iRacing Advanced Legends Cup feature event. The best drivers in the world, this time Joel Blewett, comes out on top. For the Johnson iRacing team on the Johnson iRacing Network, this is Aaron Johnson saying, go fast, turn left, have fun.